The Hero and the Minotaur by Robert Byard. Essential question: what is special about characters in myth? A geeky young Theseus lifts a huge boulder, revealing a gold sword and sandals that were left for him by his father, King Aegeus. It is a sign that he is ready to join the king in Athens. On his journeys, Theseus gains fame by killing 3 terrible giants who have been preying on travelers. Word of Theseus' adventures soon reached Athens. As Theseus approached the city, crowds came out to greet him. "Who performs these daring deeds?" Aegeus asked. "Let me meet the valiant champion." Aegeus decided to honor the stranger's bravery with a magnificent banquet in the Temple of Dolphins. When the prince stepped forward to present himself, the old king recognized the sandals and the golden sword, and he knew the youth before him was his son. He welcomed Theseus with a cry of wonder and a loving embrace. The sight of their happy reunion filled everyone with joy, and the people feasted, danced, and lit altars in every temple in Athens. One morning, shortly after the festivities ended, Theseus sensed a terrible sadness throughout the city. He also saw that his father's brow was creased with sorrow. Across the sea, a powerful king named Minos rules the island of Crete. Aegeus explained, "He keeps a beast called the Minotaur, a monster that is half man and half bull, and feeds on human flesh. Many years ago, Minos' son visited our city and was killed here by a bull. In his rage, Minos made war on us and threatened to destroy Athens unless we sent him a tribute of 7 young men and 7 young women every year to sacrifice to the Minotaur. The time has come again to pay the tribute," he finished bitterly, "and though I am their king, I can do nothing to protect the 14 who will draw unlucky lots and be sent to Crete, never to return." Theseus, angered by King Minos' cruelty, replied, "Let me go with those to be sacrificed. I will slay the Minotaur and end the curse that hangs over our city." Aegeus pleaded with him to stay in Athens, but Theseus remained steadfast and prepared for the voyage to Crete. The next morning, the old king was forced to bid his son farewell. Analyze the text. Story structure. What problem do the people of Athens face? How does Theseus respond to this problem? "In mourning for those to be sacrificed," said Aegeus, "your ship has a black sail. If the gods grant you the power to kill the Minotaur, hoist this white sail on your return. I will see it far out on the horizon and rejoice that you are safe." Theseus promised his father he would remember, then eagerly boarded the vessel. Many around him wept at the sad departure, but Theseus could think only of the thrilling adventure before him. The ship sailed south and soon approached the shores of Crete. A towering figure ran back and forth across the harbor entrance. "What is this marvel?" cried Theseus in wonder. "That's Stylus," replied the captain, "a senseless giant made of bronze. It moves as though it were alive and guards the harbor against King Minos' enemies. He would smash us to bits if it were not for our black sail, which even he can recognize. The mechanical man allowed the Athenians to pass him as they approached the king's immense palace, where Minos and the Minotaur were waiting for them. Not only Thales watched the ship arrive. From a bluff, Ariadne, the daughter of King Minos, stood with her friend Icarus and gazed down at the somber ship. Icarus was the son of Daedalus, a famous inventor. Long ago, at the king's command, it was Daedalus who built a labyrinth beneath the palace as a cage to hold the Minotaur. Analyze the text. Analyze setting. How does the last sentence of paragraph 4 help you see the setting where this myth takes place? What other sentence describe the different settings in the myth? Who is that who stands so tall and unafraid on the Athenian ship? Ariadne asked. She was impressed by the stranger's confidence. That must be Theseus, son of Aegeus, Icarus replied. He was pleased to be able to show off his knowledge to the beautiful princess, but he wondered at her admiration of Theseus. I have heard he freely chose to come here and face the Minotaur. Ariadne knew very well that no one had ever escaped the circling passage and corridors of her father's enormous stone maze. Gazing at the prince, she made up her mind to save him from the king's rash cruelty. We must go to your father and ask for his advice, she said to Icarus. If anyone knows the secrets of the maze and can help us rescue Theseus, it is Daedalus. The bold princess was right, for the brilliant inventor revealed to her a clever plan. That night, while the others slept, Ariadne secretly entered the king's chamber, gathered up the place keys and Theseus' sword, and crept down to the prisoner's cell. Theseus, she whispered to him, I am Ariadne. I have heard tales of your many good deeds. I can show you how to escape the labyrinth, but in return I ask that you help me to escape this island and my father, King Minos, who has grown weak and pitiless. Theseus agreed to help her, and so Ariadne explained Daedalus' secret. You must secure one end of this ball of thread to the entrance of the labyrinth, she said, and keep hold of the rest of the ball as the string unravels behind you. If you defeat the Minotaur, the thread's path will lead you back out of the labyrinth. Praying that the gods would help him, she led Theseus to the maze and watched as he descended the heavy stone steps. Then she returned to the prison hold to free the other captives. In the corridor of the labyrinth, the odor was full, the light dim. Theseus gripped his father's sword in one hand, and in the other he held the unraveling thread. The passage twisted and turned, leading him first one way and then another. Winding around and around, down he went, searching for the beast hidden deep in the black abyss. Finally, he came to an open space where the Minotaur lay sleeping on the rough stone floor. Its hot breath shook the cavern's walls. The creature had the chest and arms of a powerful man, but the rest of its body had the shape of a bull, and two great horns grew out of its head. Then the Minotaur opened one glowing red eye and fixed it on Theseus. Its snore died away, and the chamber grew deadly still. Analyze the text. Author's words choice. How does the author's choice of words create a dark mood in this scene? What words create this mood? With a thunderous blow, the Minotaur rose to its feet and charged. Theseus leapt aside, but the deadly horns grazed his tunic. The Minotaur spun around furious and charged again. As the beast descended upon him, Theseus steadied himself, raised his golden sword, and with a great heavy drove the blade through the Minotaur's heart. The monster dropped to the cold stone floor, silenced forever. Shaken by the fury of the struggle, Theseus had dropped the ball of thread. Anxious to escape the gloomy maze, he picked it up again and followed the thread out of the labyrinth and into the cool night air. Ariadne and Icarus were waiting for him. The princess cried out with delight to see Theseus unharmed. "Let us waste no time in leaving. The king is sure to come after us," urged Ariadne. Theseus and the freed Athenians boarded the ship, but Icarus stepped back. "Minos, you blame Daedalus for your escape. I cannot abandon my father to the king's wrath," he explained. Though it pained Icarus to see Theseus leave with Ariadne, "Daedalus and I will flee Minos together," he vowed. "Then we will join you in Athens." Icarus watched from the bluffs as the ship set a course for Athens, but he was not the only one who followed the black sail in the breaking down. At the harbor entrance, Talus spied the ship and raised his heavy club high to strike the boat. Theseus stepped forward with his sword, prepared to fight. But Poseidon, ever watchful, sent a massive wave smashing into the bronze giant. The Athenians watched in awe as the shining colossus crushed into the heap of broken metal sank to the bottom of the sea. On his voyage to Athens, Theseus forgets to change the sails of his ship from black to white. Believing that his son is dead, King Aegeus throws himself into the sea. Theseus becomes the next king of Athens and names the surrounding waters the Aegean Sea in honor of his father.